Hello, Smoking and G Sharp. How you doing? I'll be right there. How is everybody doing? Live a little bit early today. Trying to figure things out. Not figure things out, but, you know, get everything situated. Hope all is well with everyone. Okie dokie. don't buy, don't mind Nightbot or Restream Bot for that matter, because they like to fight with each other. Half the time I think Nightbot is on drugs, so it's all good. See, why is that not working now? Oi. Why is it unable to connect? There we go. There we go. Hopefully that worked. Let me see. All right. Hey, I am Seaton. How you doing? Hey, Burke. Oh, Burke. You're so sweet. There we go. Now it's working. So how's everybody doing today? Let me go ahead and get the stream started and we'll see what's going on. Oh, Burke, thank you so much. You are such a sweetheart. Hey, Freaky Geek, how you doing? Well, looks like I'm going to have to make my new video. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Let's get this show on the road. Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake. What's going on, guys? I hope everybody's doing well. I hope all my chats are working. All right, Freaky Geek, no problem. I oversleep every day. Okay, hopefully everything is working today. You guys know me and tech, usually when I get frustrated, things start shutting down on me. And that's what was happening. Like I said, if you see Nightbot in here yelling at RestreamBot, they like to go at each other, so don't mind them. There you go. Chilling from housework. There you go. Yes, I love my Blue Yeti. I did have when I started out, I don't even know where my other mic is. I was using the Nexer mic, which I really liked. But yeah, I love my Blue Yeti. I still don't know all the functions of it or anything because I just got it. But so far, so good. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay. So, Smoking in G Sharp, did you still want to come up and talk about your VR stuff today? You're going to have to take that over because I have no clue. I mean, I saw your video and everything. It was amazing and definitely wicked cool. Okay, we'll have you come up. And if we have some time over, we got some oh, that's what's missing my other page. What the heck happened here? There it is. Some changed reality stuff. So it kind of goes in tune with it. Welcome back, Freaky Geek. How you doing? Hello, Zach. How are you, hon? Good to see you as well. You guys are all awesome. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to put the link in chat. There you go. Smoking G. She's going to come up and talk about this video of the VR situation. She has a cool video on it. If you guys like to go check her out. Let's see. Hey.
Hello. Sorry, I'm adjusting.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for having me up. And I apologize for the icon because I am doing housework and I really look like it. I don't want anyone to see me.
I know what you mean. There's some days that I come up and I'm like, oh, I should really use my icon because woohoo. Oh, thank you, Burke. Thank you so much for getting me to 500. Everybody check Burke out too.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay, nice. So yeah, I've been looking at several things with Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
And if I can share a screen.
Sure. Let me remember how to do this now.
Oh, right. Perfect. So what got me on this little adventure actually started back in 2017. I've been following the Economist magazine for many years because it's notorious for putting out hints and other things about predictions in their cover and in their centerfolds. So hold on a second. I need to blow something up because out of these cards, here we go. Two cards caught my attention. And it's this one, the Magician, first of all. Excuse me, I am dilly-dallying with screens. Okay.
No problem.
So if you see the Magician card, they have morphed it into their prediction virtual reality goggles on the Magician, and he or she is touching a 3D machine stamping out little houses. So my tarot interpretation of this is showing that, you know, the Magician, he's a conjurer, he manifests, and it's showing as above so below, bringing in 3D virtual reality to every house. That's how I read it.
Right. I can see that, definitely.
So I've been keeping my eye out for things coming up with this prediction. Hold on just a second.
Okay.
And of course, we are now bombarded with the virtual goggles. They are becoming very mainstream in the gaming, obviously. And as you can see, they're getting better and better. I truly believe there'll be a day where all of this bulkiness will go away and we just like clip them onto sunglasses or something, you know what I mean? Or
I could totally see that happening. Yeah.
you know, something, yeah. But right now we're at this stage. And what got me going down this rabbit hole is, I know I'm clicky. I'm sorry, people.
No worries.
I'm going to take you back a minute with this guy. This is Hugo. Here, let me see if I can.
Uh-oh. We lost her. This is, yeah. Hey, White Wolf, how you doing, hon? And you guys will see how this all comes together. I hope she didn't lose internet. I hope. That's true, Freaky Geek. Good to hear that you're good. But yeah, she made a video about this. So if you guys want to check that out, there she is. Yay, welcome back.
I apologize. I am so sorry, everyone. I'm very new to this.
No worries. Hey, that's how you learn, right?
That's how we learn.
You know how many times I've clicked myself out of things? Woo.
I'm so sorry. Hold on just a second. I was trying to get a link up and everything went away. I do apologize, everyone.
No worries. Oh, there she goes again. But yeah, I mean, her talking about the VR. I'm sure you guys, maybe you haven't seen the video of the lady who uh, visited with her dead child, you know. Welcome back.
I will not touch that button again. Never. Okay, so let's just go on to Hugo.
Okay.
Okay, this guy is very interesting. He is the father of science fiction, and he coined that term. And as you see in this picture, in 1936, he came out with mobile TV. And they said it gave an almost 3D vision to it because it's so close to the eyes. But he and others disregarded it as just being frivolous. They didn't follow through with it. But he is a very interesting guy. He is also involved in radar, microfilm, and a lot to do with what we see in science fiction movies as far as illustrating, science fiction stuff. He's a guy to follow. And I was going to bring up his link so everybody could get a real gist of this guy. He also invented, he started out with Amazing Stories in 1926. So I just thought that was interesting. Yeah, and he kind of had the 3D goggles going on.
Right. Yeah, definitely can, tell that was like the start of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was interesting, someone brought up on my show, they thought that he might have been a time traveler.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
You never know. This is a what if. So without further ado, I'm going to go into a couple of other screens, and I promise I will not click myself out, I hope. So I started looking at stuff like this. Hope it comes up. Oh, sorry.
I don't know if you could see chat, but everybody welcomed you back.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for hanging in. So I started seeing all of this when I Googled, and I'm going, wow, this, I think, is something that's really coming to every household. I mean, it's going to become like, you go to Thanksgiving dinner, hand out the goggles. Come on, everybody, we're going to watch the family movie in 3D.
Right.
And stuff. So I thought that was pretty trippy. It's becoming really commonplace. And where I'm going with this is my what if in very short time, maybe 4, 5, 6 years, they connect virtual reality to a YouTube platform where you can go in to the person's chat room that they've created. It could be a jungle. It could be science and space. It could be, psychedelic, hippy dippy. You walk in and you don't have to type because you will speak into a mic and you'll have a conversation bubble over your head and people can see what you're saying at minimum if they cannot hear you. I don't think so. I wouldn't go that far. But you can wave to them. You'll kind of actually be able to see their icon, their avatar. So anyway, that's my what if I'm putting out there.
Yeah. I could see that.
So, and I mean, it may get it as advanced as, the movie Ready Player One,
right.
where you'll actually be able to maybe do things, touch things. I don't, that's the far distant hologram there. But yeah, I think in my day, I think we're going to see something like this on platforms where you'll virtually walk into people's places.
Right. I could see that. I could really see that. Like on a Star Trek where they go into that room and it's like you're there.
Yes.
Or even, what even came to mind when you said that was, my kids used to play a game where you you had your own little house and whatnot, but you met up. It wasn't Roblox. I can't think of what the hell it was, but that's what it reminded me of, like meeting at, just put on the thing and hanging out with people at a coffee shop or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they're doing it in gaming. You know, you can live. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not a video kind of person, gaming kind of person. Um, but I know they go into rooms and they put on their avatars and they fight, you know, and do all that stuff.
Right. Yep.
So it's just, I think, around the corner where we're going to have, like you said, coffee chat rooms. And you can somehow, some way walk in virtually, put on your avatar, and enjoy the show.
Right. Michael stated in the comments here that it actually already exists. It's called VR Live Home.
Really?
That's wild. That's really wild.
VR live home?
Yep.
Wow. I will look that up. I'm interested. I'm interested in where this is going, you know.
Right.
And The Economist magazine is, like I said, notorious for putting out what I guess we would call predictions, but they already know it's in existence and it's going to roll. So I've been waiting for the virtual reality hitting every home, you know,
Right.
and you know, if you want to learn how to cook something, you walk into a virtual reality cooking show, press the button. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, it's going to be very trippy. I'm excited.
Freaky said wearing one's own avatar would be interesting. I like my Second Life persona. There you go. See, yeah, like stepping into Second Life.
Oh, exactly. Only a little more interactive, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Second Life, but the last time I saw it was just characters, you know, you move around on a screen kind of thing. I don't know how advanced it's become now.
Well, yeah, I know. It's been a long time since I've been to Second Life. I used to play, but I didn't play like everybody else did. I think I stopped playing after I couldn't learn to fly. Because I didn't even know what Second Life was until I started watching CSI Miami, and they had a case in the Second Life world. And that's what got me interested in it.
That's it. I didn't know it was on. Didn't know it was on that show.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. Second Life was growing and improving every day, still does. That's cool, Freaky Geek.
I am going to have to check out some of this technology, see where it's going, because like I said, I'm only hoping that it will move over into platforms like YouTube.
Right, right. I could totally see that happening. I mean, I can't do VR. Actually, Freaky Geek made a comment back that it makes them tippy, and it kind of, I have vertigo, so it's hard for me to even sometimes watch video games. Like my son would play video games, and I'd get motion sickness. So I don't know how I'd work with VR because, you know.
No, I totally get that. That's interesting. I mean, I've dabbled. You know, I tried goggles at a friend's house, and I saw that yes, you can look around the room, and but I'd never sat down and really done anything with them. It's like I got to get in that car and drive a minute before I know I can handle it.
Well, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, Laura. We do tarot readings on Tuesdays.
So yeah, that's my little blurb today, and I'm sorry I wasn't as set up. I was right in the middle of vacuuming, saw you came on, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I have to hopefully share this with her."
Yeah, no, don't apologize. It's crazy how he, you know, basically started all way back when. And like
Yeah.
you said, that tarot card, that's kind of freaky. That's kind of freaky.
Yes, there's another tarot card on that. Excuse me for a second. There's another tarot card on that. If you don't mind, I'll bring it up and show you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Here we go. Get rid of Hugo. I got to get a few things off my screen. All right. The other card on here that really caught my attention was the Hermit. Reason being, well, all of us in tarot know the hermit's a reclusive person, very wise, watches their step. They have the lantern. They're very wise. They can also show the way. A lot of you. Okay, you can go on. First of all, this very reclusive, peaceful person who's obviously away from everything is seeing the masses march down the road, and it's like
Right.
overkill. It's like too much, too much, too much, much. And the hermit is actually, if you see, looking up at the moon and shining his lantern up at the moon. And standing beneath him is a broken world. So,
yeah.
so I interpreted this as people, population problems, the masses, all of this grows, that they are looking at getting off planet, basically looking at the moon. And this was in 17. Now here we are in 20. And sure enough, by now you've heard in the last 3 years,
Yep.
the Elon Musk types, everybody is shooting for the moon.
Yep, exactly.
So anyway, this is a very, you can Google this, The Economist magazine, and 2017. The other cards obviously show, the Tower, Judgment with Trump, the World.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean,
is this wild? The Death card, with the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
The Wheel of Fortune. They have Merkel. They have various European politicians, and the Star. And it shows a picture, I know it's kind of to see, of young people. I don't know if they're important, but yes, it's a very interesting cover. The only other thing I'd like to point out lastly on this is, a lot of people brought up Trump on this judgment card. And if you see, it's tilted and it's touching 3 other cards.
Right.
Which also points to the magician here. What I read from this is, what I followed for a long time, is the aquatic triplicity. And that is the Vatican in Vatican City, the City London Bank in the City of London, and Washington, D.C. and District Columbia. They are the aquatic triplicity that has ran the world for hundreds of years. And the world shows it clearly, the pyramid, we know what all that's about. They run theater, they run movies,
Right.
Arts and literature, and up in a higher degree, they run religion and history. So they're all tied. It's the aquatic, and also too, if you notice, these 3 cards are all blue backgrounds.
Right.
To me,
yeah.
is the aquatic part. They're saying there's the triplicity right here, and Trump is touching them. It's pretty interesting thing here. Let me back it out. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Of course, today is, I have to say this, everybody, if you understand, I have a really hard time every time Mercury crosses over Neptune. No matter where it's placed, it could be in any house. It's just my thing. I don't know why I get just jumbly.
Right.
So anyway.
Well, Mercury retrograde's coming up, so.
Oh, great. On top of, over Neptune, I'm just going to die. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, yes, if you're interested, please follow The Economist. They have some really interesting, trippy covers.
Yeah. Michael brought up that The Economist is owned by the Rothschilds.
Mm-hmm.
And Waywell said, well, it's all to do with the Bilderberg Group.
Mm-hmm.
The movers and shakers of the world.
Absolutely.
And Whitewell said the future is already mapped out. I believe it is. I mean, if the Simpsons can predict it, yeah.
Yes, it is. I believe we are very mapped out. I have researched this, and the scholars call it predictive stagnation. They've got a lot in their pockets, but they're only going to, hand out a little piece at a time just to keep us entertained long enough.
Right.
And then another new little piece comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's pretty wild to think about. And White Wolf, you're right. 3D printing is also a game changer. It sure is. I mean, just so much, you know.
Absolutely.
I remember listening to when you were talking about Elon Musk. This always pops into my head. I don't know if it was him that stated it or somebody else that was talking, but they always said watch the mainstream people, what they're doing, and they're all trying to get off the earth, you know. And it's like they know what's up, something's coming, and you know.
Yes, absolutely. Well, my next show, I'm going to talk about the star Betelgeuse because something's up with the star Betelgeuse, and hope you all can look at that. I would gladly bring it up now, but every time I click on a regular internet tab, I leave your stream. So
that's weird.
but yes, I would talk way more about that too. But yes, it's a star that they look at as going nova, and it's very close.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you. I don't know what's going to involve. I don't know what's going to evolve with us and what the world and everything, but I definitely feel something big is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I couldn't tell you where it's coming from, but it's just that feeling, you know, and I'm usually a positive and, you know, happy-go-lucky kind of chick. But I can feel it.
Yes, I'm totally right there with you. I can't tell you what it is either, but it could be a domino effect. It could be just one little thing sets off a little bigger, you know.
Right.
And it can come from without and it can come from within. You know, unless we are time travelers, we're not going to really know until we're right there.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, but I do watch those who rule the world. What are they doing lately?
Yep.
Because you know, they're sending you know, Teslas out into space.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, what can I say?
That was clever, though. I have to give him credit. You know, I'm a huge
Definitely
fan.
something new, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm a fan. I'm a sci-fi fan, and way back the cartoon movie Heavy Metal. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I it's vaguely
Yeah,
familiar.
it's a 70s thing, but that's what he was modeling that after one of the cartoons on there. And I just said, Elon, I love you for that.
Right.
You're crazy everywhere else, but I love you for that.
A little Easter egg in there.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, very interesting stuff. And White Wolf brings up a lot of good points about the 3D printer, you know. And I did see that about the human ear. They printed a human ear from skin at cell level. Yeah, I seen about that.
That is trippy.
And they printed a gun that fires real rounds. And
yeah, that
crazy.
changes the game a lot.
It does. It really does.
Because, I mean, eventually, you know, humans are very innovative and they're imitators. So
Right.
it wouldn't take long for anyone to figure out how to make those.
Definitely. I totally agree. I totally agree. You know, it's weird because I feel like, you know, we've sped up with innovation and, you know, inventions and stuff, but yet we slowed down. It's like a very weird feel right now.
Yes, it's that predictive stagnation. You know, yes, you can feel exactly. I think you hit it, shadows of the moon. You can feel what's present, but you're not seeing it around you yet. And you're in.
Right. Yeah.
And I always say to people, where it's like 1 foot in the old world and 1 foot in the new, and it's a little awkward at times, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially for someone like me, because I hate change. I hate change. I mean, I agree that it needs to happen at certain times, but when it affects me, I hate it, you know?
Oh, I have to interrupt for a second. Michael Cucci, you think that the Tesla car was a fake? Because that was a controversy. Maybe I didn't catch him in time.
No, he just popped up, so
Oh, okay.
he should be all right.
I know there's a delay. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, but I totally hear you that change has to come in certain degrees. Because, if you follow, the infinity plan, everything is happening all at once, and we're just going through frame by frame because this is all we can handle at the time.
Right.
Yes. So I totally get that. And some days do speed up faster than others for me. I have to
definitely.
I really have to stop and absorb some things.
Right. Okay, too much.
Oh, it's been debunked if you do. Okay, I will. I'll look. Oh, Elon. He faked it. No.
You just crushed her, Michael. No,
I
just
know.
joking.
I was ready. Mr. Musk. I was ready. And you blew it for me, you little fakers.
But yeah, that's definitely, I mean, the VR and everything, like I said, I don't know if you heard me because you had clicked out at one point, but the whole VR where that, did you see that woman that was basically hung out with her deceased child?
I did see
VR?
that.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I got a bad feeling about that.
Yeah, that can go in a lot of directions, Shadows, a lot. Good and bad. It's almost like it's hologram cloning.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do not want to see the deceased.
Right, yeah. I mean,
No,
don't get me wrong, I'd love to see my mom and my dad and stuff like that, but not that way.
right. I wished I had gotten some video recordings or some audio recordings of my parents, but you don't think of things like that at the time when they're living. Yes, and that kind of thing. I have a lot of photos, obviously, but I don't know if I could walk into a room and talk to them. That would be a bit much.
Yeah, I agree. Hold on, I'm trying to.
I'm going to read White Wolf's thing. They say everything tech-wise is a replication of what already is from the spiritual. He or she. I'm not sure of your followers. I agree with that. It's as above, so below. We are the conjurers. For example, the net is like a replication of the Akashic records. Yes.
Okay.
I'm totally with that. I totally believe as above, so below. And that's why that magician card caught my attention as well, because the Bilderbergs, the Rothschilds are telling you that, yes, they're conjuring. They know of more than we do somehow, some way, either through technology, probably, or through the old workings. But they are conjuring. Yes, they are. And they hide that from us because they don't want us conjuring and developing our own reality.
Sorry, I'm just trying to shut down my Nightbot. But
oh, no problem. Hey, in the meantime, I'm going to digress because I'm very, very excited about something.
Okay.
I've had the same deck of little tarot cards since 1972.
Wow.
I know.
Awesome.
It's awesome, but so I finally got, really excited watching all the tarot stuff. And I went and purchased a new set of tarot cards, and I'll show them sometime. I won't come up today, but I just got to tell you, I got steampunk tarot cards.
It's so funny. Everybody is bringing that up lately. That is so funny.
I love them. They are so cool. I will show them on one of my things.
Yeah, I haven't seen them myself, but I've sold them, but they've always been wrapped, so I don't open them, obviously.
Yeah.
But I've sold them, and that was the only deck that's ever given me a problem.
Ooh.
I only had one person complain about it, but this is when I was selling on eBay, and like they bought the steampunk tarot, and the descriptions there and everything. And then she's like, these were how they said they were. I can't give these to my granddaughter or whatnot. And I'm like, the description's there. There's nothing, you know what I mean? And nobody that's bought them has ever had any problems with it. I don't know what she was looking for. You know what I mean?
I gathered that she thought they weren't age appropriate. They're great.
Oh, could be it. Yeah, that definitely could be it.
She was hoping for something, because you know how teenagers go. They'll go, Grandma, I want the steampunk tarot deck. And she doesn't even know what she's getting the child. She just orders it. And then she opens it up and then she goes, oh.
Yeah.
So that's my hit. Because this is a great, I'm very impressed with the artistry and the book itself. So yeah, I'm excited. Right. So anyway, I digressed. I'm sorry. I was just talking about.
No worries. No worries. Yeah.
What if Smoking in G Sharp gets a new tarot deck? She finally did after all this time.
Believe me. That's pretty cool to have a deck that old though.
Oh, yes.
That's unheard of.
Copyright 1971. It's a writer. See, now they're called, they're writer weight decks. Now they're called weight decks, but back then they called them writer decks. There was something was wrong with the wording. They changed them, or either that or it was the Mandela effect. I don't know. Who knows?
How you doing? Yeah, you never know. It could have been a Mandela effect.
But yes. I remember distinctly. I'll have to tell you my story. 1972. I was 13 years old, and I went into a woman's bookstore with my friend, and I bought the tarot deck. And I've just read off this little deck forever. So,
wow, that is so cool. I just. I have so much right now, and I'm still buying because something will catch my eye, and I'm just like, ooh.
Well, yeah. Now that I know you have a store, I'll go to your store and get something.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I used to run it a while ago, and then I wasn't into it anymore. It was I tell the story. These guys have probably heard it, but it was one of the I always knew from the word go when I was 16 years old that I wanted a witchy store, and I wanted it to be called Shadows of the Moon. That from 16 years old, and so finally we had extra money where I could run it and stuff like that, and it was basically the universe going, is this really what you want? Because I was going through a transition at the time to where I was a spiritual transition, let's put it that way. And it was one of those things where I wanted more out of life. Not monetary or anything like that. I just wanted more feeling of life and helping people and stuff like that. It's in the beginning where I went into my life coaching and that. And so my store got really popular, and I was doing really well. And from that, it was kind of like I said, I felt it was the universe going, well, let's see if this is really what you want.
Uh-huh.
And then it became really popular. I'm like, this isn't what I really want. But I still, I'll still keep my store around a little bit just because of the fact that I do love running it, and I love bringing people products that will be helpful and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's just not like my main thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. I like that story. I like it when people, but you still knew at 16 that you had a direction with this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's brought me so much more. I mean, just Shadows of the Moon has brought me so much more. It's funny because I can still remember when I first wanted the name Shadows of the Moon, how I wanted an old antique sign, one of the old like English signs that are hanging there in the wind. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, White Wolf, you sound like you're really knowledgeable about this.
He really is. He's really knowledgeable about a lot of things.
Check it out. Yeah, there was a feuding or something. Exactly. I knew there was something up. Wow,
Yeah.
yeah. White Wolf, you should come up. That's a story on its own right there.
Wow, Scoop, that's cool. That's pretty cool. She is still has her first deck when she was
Oh,
in high school.
oh, you do too? Oh, good. I'm so glad I'm not the only one. Because I thought, well, I'm very into this. I have tons of pendulums and runes, and it's just the deck never got upgraded for some reason. So,
Right. Well, I noticed, at least with me, I've fallen in out of things. Like I'll like when I first got started, runes were my thing. I loved runes. Not so much anymore. Just I still love them. I think they're beautiful, but it's not something I want to work with right now. Tarot, when I first started, I was like, there's no way I'm going to ever remember all this crap, you know. And then I left that for a while. Same with paranormal. I even did it with paranormal. I was on hiatus for 10 years with the paranormal. I only started this back up last year. So, it's just one of those things that it's like, we'll do this for a while and see how it goes and, kind of feel in your way.
yeah, absolutely. This is great. I'm glad you came back because you have a great channel.
Thank you.
I do. I enjoy coming here. It's very peaceful. And everyone in chat is just very kind, gentle, and has a lot to contribute. I'm learning just in this, I'm learning all these things I need to look up now.
Yeah, same here. And that's why because I've always been a person that likes to pick brains. I like to know what everybody else thinks and how they see things and, different perspectives on things. So I'm very lucky that I have such awesome people that come in and chat with me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, seriously, it is. It's a round table for us to go. Oh, did you know this? Go here. And I do. I walk away almost every time with little notes going. I have to look this up, that up, and that up. So very cool.
Yeah. It's just, it took me back in the day because way back when, not before internet, but it was more talk radio. Like I grew up, not grew up, but when I got into the paranormal, I was listening to Darkness Dave. I'm still listening to Darkness Dave. Dave Schrader is one of my favorites. Coast to Coast. We all had those radio programs, but it became a little bit more to where we had our chats, so you could go listen to what was on the radio while chatting with the people that are watching. It's kind of like YouTube, only with radio.
Oh yeah.
So that's where a lot of my knowledge came from. You know what I mean? About the paranormal and stuff, and the wonky and the witchy and all that stuff.
No, I have gathered so much over the years, either through conversations, books, videos. It's like I know 5,000 things of what?
Right, yeah.
At this
Yeah.
point,
Exactly.
but my mind always is pursuing. I won't tell you what my rising sign is. I kind of don't like to give that away. To you personally would be fine, but on the internet,
Right. Yeah.
I'm a little protective of my chart, people. But my rising sign,
I understand that.
Yeah, you'll get the hint though. My rising sign sends me very deep into the mystics and into the, I want to tear things apart and find out how they work.
Right. Yeah, that's how I am. I'm a Libra, so I'm not scared to say that. But
Oh.
I'm a Libra, and let me tell you, I am a true Libra.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm definitely a true Libra, and enough to where everybody tells me I have OCD because I have to have everything balanced, whether it be materialistic items or just people, you know?
No, that's very good. Libras are very personable.
Yeah, we try. Well, I try.
You are. No, you do. You rule the scales. You walk in and it's okay, let's balance the room.
Yeah, yeah,
You're,
and that's what sucks sometimes. Though is you do, and because I'm empathic too, so I'm very. That's why I'm so good at customer service. A, that's a good thing, but B, I can walk in and feel tension. I mean, most people can, but I can tell where it's coming from and who it's coming from, and
Right. You see the previous ricochets that happened in the room.
Right.
That hit person number 3 that you walked in on.
Right. And it doesn't help that I'm also a watcher. I watch people. I watch their actions. I watch what they're not saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I totally get that.
Oh, Skook, I would be the same way in chaos. I mean, my house is cluttered. Well, my apartment is cluttered, but I know where everything is. But yeah, having house getting remodeled, that would rock my world so bad.
Oh, I do feel for you, Shooks. We've had, anywhere from rooms to windows to doors and things being, redone in our house. And let's face it, the construction team comes in and they take it over.
Yeah.
If you remain in the house, you got to hide in some real back room or something.
Right. Yeah.
But I tell you, at the end of it all, you'll come out and you'll go, oh, I totally see how the place has changed. It's much better. You'll get some good feng shui going. And I see that. I see that for you. So
definitely.
Hang out.
Michael, we go through many lives. Our souls can ascend to other realms. Life is a school for our souls. That is so true. So true. Let's see. Miss Carrie, I'm so glad you're here, hon. I hope everybody's well at your house. Her poor household was all sick. They were all sick.
How many?
I think it's all 4 in your household, right, Miss Carrie? Am I right? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Oh, nice, Skook. Yeah, the dust and mold is so unhealthy. It's stuff that you need to get done, but it's like, driving chaos, man. Oh, yes, 4 in Miss Carrie's household. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is hard when little ones go down.
Yeah. Or even when, no offense, guys, but when guys go down.
Oh, yeah.
No problem, Freaky Geek. Welcome back. Sorry to interrupt you, hon. What were you saying?
Oh, nothing. No,
Oh.
not at all.
Oh, but yeah, yeah, definitely. When I saw that your video about VR, I was like, wow, that is so cool. So when you would, express that you wanted to come up and talk about it, I was so excited because I was like, yes.
Oh, yes. And thank you so much for having me up. I probably should step off. Maybe someone else would like to come up.
Whatever you would like to do. It doesn't matter to me.
Yes, because I know you had a couple things to follow through. So thank you so much for having me up, Shadows of the Moon.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. Anytime. I love having people up here to talk.
Yeah, this is great. This was a blast for me. And, I'll see everybody in chat. I'm going to take it back down there and type a few. And check you out again on your next show.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you have a wonderful day and thank you so much for sharing. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Me too. I love this and many blessings.
Same to you as well. Thank you. All right, guys. Hello, Little Red. How you doing? No worries about being late. Oh, wow. Okay. Hopefully it went well, Little Red. I hope it all went well. Yes, a panel can be as many as 6 people, yes. And also, I should hook this up at some point in time. I do have a phone number. So, that's hooked up to my whole thing going on here. And someday we'll check it out to make sure it works. And so people can call in as well as get on panel. So, with that being said, I figured we'd go into this whole little, since she was talking about VR and everything, about changed reality. Have you guys ever experienced any changed reality? There you go, freaky geek. That's right. Or if anybody else wants to come up and share, you're more than welcome to. Let me put the link in chat. Oh, I forget you can't do it that way with Restream. Anybody wants to come up? Yeah, every day is a change or shift. That is true. Excuse me. So let me go ahead and get that up. Well, thank you for sticking around, smoking. So this site comes from. I love this site. If you guys ever want to visit this site, it's called soulguidance.com. And I'll put that in. It's going to take you to this page, but you can hit the home. But they just have a really good outlook on things and different stories. It's cool. The way I found this was I was searching for the Glimmer Man when I was doing the whole thing on the Glimmer Man. I came across this page, and it's really cool because they listen to a lot of podcasts I listen to. So it's really cool. But anyway, this one is experience of changed reality. We like to experience the world in a predictable way. However, on a rare occasion, reality as we know it becomes vastly different. It is confusing, distressing. The house you saw along the road never existed. The town you drove through was never there either. Paths in the woods change, and an eerie silence creates even more confusion. People have experienced these situations and they have no explanation for it. Afterwards, only the memory exists. It does not happen to only one person. Sometimes a whole group or family have the same shared experience, giving credibility to the fact that the reality temporarily changed drastically. Well, that was Michael. You brought up a good thing about the Mayans and the calendars and stuff like that about the 2012. It's so weird because I brought one of my shows. I'm not sure which one brought up about how have we really died? and we're just living our life thinking, we just went into a different timeline or into a different life. Yeah, that was definitely in one of my. Yeah, exactly. Because 2012 is right around the time that I started hearing about everybody talk about the vibration of the world and everything. So back to what I was reading, these experiences often go together with time discrepancies, sometimes called missing time, although this term is a misnomer. Much more time has passed than one can account for. A break in time is often not noticed. It is not the time that is missing, but the memory of what happened during that period. It also happens if the person is walking. He might find himself suddenly at another location after noticing the unusual environment. I have written, well, this person has written about missing time phenomenon before. In that article, they focused on the missing memory of the time passage and also on sometimes accompanying spatial displacement. The stories in this article focus on the experience of truly strange changing in one's environment or reality. Although the changed reality is experienced as real, they could not have happened in our everyday physical world. So, in their opinion, there is an intelligence who interfere with humans in a profound way. They do have an ebook called The Intrusion of Dimensional Beings. I think that they are able to take us out of our physical world for their own purposes. While this is happening, the mind of the person is or persons is put into a kind of holographic projection that mimics our everyday reality, but it does not always quite match it. A kind of advanced mind manipulation while the body is of the persons is in another dimension or in a spaceship. The abductions of the Greys are the most well known, but I think that other non human races interfere with the lives of humans for other purposes. Okay, so here's some commonalities of these people. Dense woods along a highway. There are stories of people driving on a highway when the sides of the highway give way to dense woods. That seems to go on forever, giving rise to a much larger driving time than normal. Sometimes at the end of the woods is a small deserted town where things are off. Then the people turn around and drive back to the wooded area and finally find themselves back on regular highway again. Right, Scoop? Yeah, you all have great. Yeah, we aren't in Kansas anymore. Exactly. Paths in the woods. A person goes into the woods, he often finds himself on a path he's never seen before, or the trail changes. It's very weird. The surroundings are off. Sometimes sounds are muffled or there's just plain silence. Then suddenly everything is normal again. The sound comes back and they're on the right path again. Buildings that don't exist. We were just talking about this the other day, driving by a building, house, or mobile home where the day before there was only an empty lot. And the day after that, it's not there anymore. Sometimes the house had lights shining through the windows. Such a building can also be presented in the woods. Their article of restaurant cafes that don't exist also belong under this heading, but these are experiences all includes consumption of food and they can be quite elaborate. Towns that don't exist, passing through strange towns that later on turn to be non-existent. They often accompanied by weird feelings, sometimes dread. Unfamiliar landscapes. Sometimes the landscapes become unfamiliar or completely different from what should be there. Usually this happens when one is driving in a car, but at the same time, but the same can be said about walking in the woods. Cell phones don't work. Although the batteries are fine and are charged up, no connection can be established during the altered reality period. Once the strange experience ends, cell phones work fine again. See, yeah, Skook, stuff like that. um, it can happen anywhere. It's not only the woods or the highway that these things happen. Sometimes one's immediate environment in his own town or even close to home can be totally changed. Their article of elevators to other dimensions shows that inside buildings, reality as we experience can be drastically changed. Absence of familiar things. Not only ordinary things are different, such as plants or roads, but there is often an absence of people and cars in otherwise a busy location. Or car keys disappear. So here's some stories. Right, Skook, yeah. Once you know about the Mandela effect and everything, some of it can be explained. I like the whole the Elvis song that Queen sang. I know why people think, well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say I know. Hurry back, Freaky Geek. I shouldn't say I know why people think. But God, now I can't think of his name. Ah, hold on, I got it. I know that's not right, but yeah, that's Dwight Yoakam, because Dwight Yoakam sang the same song that everybody thought Elvis sang, but he sounds like Elvis. Anyway, that's my take on it. But certain ones can be explained. Or it's just like my coworker said, we were talking about the Mandela effect. And he's like, what if these companies are just screwing with us? They keep changing it, the logos just to mess with us. But anyway, going on to some people's experience about this time slips. Roadblocks to a familiar route seem to show up once in a while, diverting one's route to another path or road where the strangeness begins. In the following account, there are also several unusual things happening. The strange fire tower, temperature drops, diminishing light, silence, echoing sounds, and of course, the cell phone doesn't work. Loss of memory of 3 hours, too. And the past disappeared from existence. Or maybe it just never existed at all. They go on to write, I am a 29-year-old male from Pennsylvania, and I have read through several stories on your site. I thought I would share with you and your readers one of my many strange things that I've personally experienced. And like other people, I would like to know if they too had this type of experience. In September 2008, my best friend Sierra, pronounced Sierra, and I went to the park named Hocking Hill in Ohio for a day retreat from our busy lives. She and I had decided on this at random when we first got together early in the morning, just after sunrise. It was a nice, warm, late summer day, and we just decided to make a full day drive and hike out of it. Hocking Hill is well known for several walking trails, a cave or two, and several waterfalls and running water creek areas. The day was very warm, sunny, hardly a cloud overhead, and very nice. We started a walk at random and found that one of the trails had been washed out, so we had to take another path, which forced us to cross a road. On the other side, was a tall fire lookout ranger station, which doubled as a fire tower. We had seen a lot of people out walking with us that day, and a few hikers, backpackers had passed us by on the trucks up until that point. We played with our phones a bit on the way to show each other some pictures we took days before on different outings and noted it was roughly 12 noon when we came out of the woods and walked across the road. It was then that we noticed there was caution tape all over the fire tower. There was a pungent smell in the air which could not be identified. The windows of the top of the tower appeared to be taped up, grimy, and there were flies all over the area. We walked past it, commenting how odd it was, and continued down a seemingly new trail we hadn't seen on our previous walk in the area. The trail took us past the fire tower and then cut to the woodlands. As we walked up to the forest, we took a notice that no one seemed to be around. In fact, not only did we feel isolated from others, but we felt very chilled without explanation. That day had been very warm as we both wore very cool clothing, and we entered the forest. It began to feel much cooler than we expected, and we both were shivering as we felt the temperature drop. As we continued down the way, my friend pointed out that it was getting darker than either of us should have expected or it seemed to be. We looked around and there was nothing but trees on all sides. There should have been a forest edge somewhere in the area. The area wasn't really that big, but aside from some hills and tall pine trees, there wasn't a real ending to the woods, like we expected, as the area tends to be narrow and normally you can see the edges. She took out her phone to use her GPS because she instinctively felt lost, but her battery was nearly gone. I took mine out and it had no signal. The battery was also nearly dead, and it showed EE for the time, meaning it couldn't update as it was an older style flip phone with the camera, and when set to auto adjust time, or it would contact the mobile phone network every 15 minutes. It was only then, as the light grew dimmer, it was continued our way, that I noticed it was very silent suddenly. Our footsteps echoed, the leaves, grass, twigs, and breathing just echoed. Sierra got spooked, and I did too. She mentioned it was very out of the ordinary. I agreed, but I couldn't shake off the sense of foreboding that something was amiss. I tried to rationalize it, but honestly, I really couldn't. I couldn't figure out any of it. We continued forward, going down a small hill on a trail and back up when it got darker. The world seemed to have gone from shadowy to near twilight darkness. My friend grabbed my arm and started freaking out about how weird it got. Then the air grew chillier and had a feeling something was wrong. We both took off running, looking for an exit. For some odd reason, we never thought to turn around at all. As we ran, we could hear the steps echo off the area as things just felt like they were growing gloomy. Then ahead of us, down a small hill and back up the other side, we could see two large bushes on either side of the trail, like a gate. We made a mad dash for the bushes, and just as we pushed through the plants, something odd happened. We were nearly blinded by light as sound and warmth returned all at once. It was like stepping outside of a cold, empty, dark building to a warm, busy street. We stood up at the edge of a place known as Old Man's Cave, which was a large waterfall and U-shaped cliff where you can look down into wherever the water and people gather. We turned around, and the bushes were the same, but the area was different. It was bright, not silent for sure, and warm. In fact, our skin was cold to touch, which just reinforced the facts. We took out our phones and the time had finally updated. It was now 4 p.m. The normal trail we would have taken was only an hour to walk fully, so we were at a loss of 3 full hours. Logic attempts to set logic attempted to set in, and we decided the trail we came up must have been appeared creepy because there may have been clouds overhead or a storm blew by, but when we went back down between the bushes, there was no trail. Nothing looked like it had a few seconds ago. Sierra walked around the bushes twice, and it was the same bright sunny day with no darkness and no trail. We waited as the blue sky overhead, or we waited. It was the blue sky overhead, and we could see the edges of the forest and other people. The trail had simply vanished, as we had never walked it. On returning past the trail where the fire tower was located, we noticed it was normal looking. There was a blonde-haired young lady with her hair in a ponytail climbing the steps. The windows were not taped and very clean, and no pungent smell. We don't know what it was, but it certainly was creepy. And of course, I jokingly told her over dinner we had entered the fairy realms by mistake and were lucky to get away. She didn't find it remotely funny, of course, but either way, we felt we should have shared this with you. And if anyone out there has had a similar experience, perhaps they can provide insight. And that was off Phantom and Monsters. Can you imagine that? Hey, system failure. How you doing, hon? Sorry if I missed anybody else that came in. I couldn't imagine going through that. I really couldn't. I mean, I've been in some places where, you know, it's been creepy and I felt like time had it, but nothing's happened. Good to hear, system failure. Good to hear. But I couldn't imagine going a long way and getting creeped out and having that feeling of not being like you're in a horror movie, you know? So yeah, what if they were outside of the if we are living in a simulation, right? What if in reality this whole world is like creepy and dark and gloomy and stuff like that, and that's what happened to them? They stepped out of that simulation for some reason. And our world is really it's not sunny and bright like we see it. Isn't there a movie like that? But yeah, pretty messed up. I would be freaked out. I would get freaked out. Right, White Wolf? Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, I'm on the fence about everything, you know what I mean? But yeah, that is definitely one that's at the top for me, is that we are in simulation. Just because of the fact that like with my husband, how he explained about the person walking and the glitch in the system, right? Or, there's been times, as wacky as it sounds, I swear to God, and I could be that I'm really tired or whatnot, but I've looked up and seen like a grid in the sky. Um, or be sitting somewhere with a wall, right? I'm sitting here, here's the wall, and all of a sudden my mind, for no reason whatsoever, will be like my body's here, but my eyes are over here, and I can see on the other side of that wall for no reason at all. So, I mean, there are different things. Freaky geek. When you're brave and when you're, yeah, No, I was actually outside. I wasn't looking through a window. Smart ass. I get what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like no, I was actually outside. I wasn't in a building. But like, like just about everybody knows about ley lines. Um I mean, what if the ley lines, and I thought about this the other day. I was in somebody's stream, I can't remember whose stream it was, but they were talking about ley lines. Oh, I think it was Haunted Road Media. I think I brought this up Monday, where they were talking about ley lines and that, and who knows? What if that's like perfectly one of two things aligned with the grid in our matrix, or if ley lines are truly like, if you think about Thoth and the Emerald Tablets, about the grid that he's put up to protect us all. I don't know. It's just wild. Really, really, Michael. See, I can't do stuff like that. I mean, I'd love to do ayahuasca, but I just can't. I won't. My body don't allow me to. I can drink and drink and drink and not get drunk. I think it's a protection system just because of the fact that me being a suicide survivor with pills, I think it's a mechanism type thing. Because now I get immune to even medicine really quick. Freaky geek, let me tell you, living up in Alaska where it's dry heat, I get shocked everywhere I go. I always blame it on my electrifying personality, though. Yeah, I think mine is more just like of a protection. I don't know. I think I stirred something up in my body. So I don't know. Yeah, everything is electric. You're right. That's why it's my electrifying personality. Should I? Well, you guys are friends. I'll tell you how I say what my nationalities are. I please don't anybody get offended, because obviously I am all these things. So let's see if you guys can guess what I am. I'm a Nazi wearing wooden shoes, dancing around the campfire, drinking a spot of tea. There's my nationalities. My kids are all that, except they're eating a plate of spaghetti as well. Please, nobody get offended, because, like I said, it's my nationality. I'm not politically correct by all or by any means. Hell, when I asked my dad when I was doing a school project, like in the third grade, I asked my dad, "What's our nationality?" He said, "Tell him plain Yankee Doodle." Nope, I'm German, Native American. Okay, Nazi, German. Wooden shoes. I'm Dutch. uh, let's see, Nazi wearing wooden shoes, dancing around the campfire. I'm a Native American, drinking a spot of tea. I'm English. That's how my personality is. When you guys hear stuff like that, that's how I am all the time. All right, system failure. Thank you so much for coming on, hon. All right. I will try to pop over. I will definitely try to pop over. I'll probably be at work when I do, but I will definitely stop in. Even if I lurk, I always leave likes when I go into people's stream when I lurk. So let's go ahead. I'll do one more story. We'll figure out. Let's see what's going on. So have you guys had experience of anything like this? Another thing that I was going to bring up too, on maybe we'll talk about it next week, but where like glitches of people, I was reading into it. I only skimmed it, so it was like I don't know too much about it, where people are having experiences where it goes dark for a little bit and then like the sun comes, kind of like clouds going across the sun, but it's like the whole everything goes dark and then you're in daylight again. Wow, system, that's sad. That's so sad. Kind of like an eclipse, Freaky Geek, but it's not, the eclipse isn't happening. I believe that, White Wolf. I believe that. That's wild, though. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine that. See? What's that show? The Newman Show? I swear to God. Yeah, it's kind of like an eclipse, but the eclipse isn't happening. It just happens. It's just all of a sudden dark, like a light goes out, and that's crazy. That's sad that YouTube does that. See, that's why when I multi-stream, like I'm on my YouTube, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Mixer, I'm on D Live. Right? A big spaceship goes by. Yep, exactly. Exactly. My Native American, I am Seneca. I am East Coast. East Coast. That was one of my biggest fears, though. Coming up to Alaska with all different natives up here, I was scared that I was going to be looked like I'm a bad native or something. I don't know. It was one of my big worries. But everybody up here is cool. Totally different from the lower 48s, but awesome people. I bet that had to been freaky, White Wolf. Yeah, I would have. Oh my god. See, and stuff. I don't know about you guys, but when stuff like that happens to me, I never have my phone around. That's right, Scoop. Minecraft. Yeah, my son used to play it. My daughter plays that still. Okay, so here we go. In this following account, there might be a clue, in fact, that his apparently this other story, the compass was going wacky, pointing to a disturbance in the Earth's magnetic field. The usual characteristics show up: silence, uneasy feelings, getting lost, and environment becomes unfamiliar. His radio doesn't work, missing time, memory of several hours too. It could be considered a typical missing 411 cases, in which the missing person is finally found, but he can't remember what happened in many hours of missing time. So yeah, a lot of missing 411. I love listening to those and hearing about those. Um, this person said, "I'm an archaeologist in Costa Rica. Through my career, I focused on research of stone spheres. If you are unfamiliar, they look like this." Okay, so they look like those big. I've never seen any of them, but they'd be pretty cool looking. So he said, thousands of spears of varying sizes have been found all over the course of the decades. Some as small as your hand and some as big as your house have been uncovered in the middle of the jungle. 10 years ago, I was working at a campsite on the Osa Peninsula. There is probably the deepest known, most unexplored forest in the country. Some areas have never been reached or mapped because they are virtually impossible to access. And there are many people trying anyway. Plus, the protection of the wildlands in Costa Rica is a serious deal, and human interaction is kept to the absolute minimum in certain areas, except for a few biologists and geographers that have slowly made their way through. So the camp was set up by government officials who called my university professor to help identify some unearthed artifacts and scout the surroundings. While exploring, my professor had found a clearing with 9 stone spheres. Knowing it was my field of expertise, he called me in to check it out and do some research. When I arrived at the location, I noticed a few things were off. For starters, other than the artifacts found, there was no signs of houses or ruins anywhere nearby. This is odd because these stones aren't usually found more than a mile away from places with clear evidence of previous dwellers or from tribes living there to this day. Also, the stones were laid in a pattern unlike I'd found before. After a few days scouting and gathering details, something explained something explainable happened. I left the camp in the morning that day to check out the clearing as usual. I arrived at the site and spent 2 hours digging, taking notes, doing the usual stuff. It was then when I checked my compass and realized it was going nuts. It's just pointing at a direction I know can't be right based on the pattern of the stones. I've been here already a few times at this point, so I know it's not right. It's pointing north. It spends a few seconds there, suddenly jumps to another random direction, jerking a little bit, then points at the opposite direction again. I start walking around the place, but it seems to have little effect on what the compass is doing. I am at a complete loss. Sorry, guys, I lost my where I was. I'm at a complete loss. A compass is not a digital device. It works based on Earth's magnetic field. So this just doesn't make sense. Then I realize something else is going on. I'm not hearing anything. Mind you, this is in the middle of the darn jungle. I can't hear a single animal, just an eerie breeze through the leaves. I started feeling uneasy and paranoid. I've never been easily scared. You can't you can't be when you have to spend days out in the wild at night. But this just doesn't feel right. So I decided to head back, except I can't seem to find a way back to camp. The stones aren't more than a mile away from the campsite. I was pretty confident I knew how to get there, but none of the tree lines or trails and creeks are familiar to me. I tried to radio the team, but no one is answering either. The most sensible choice seemed to be to walk back in the clearing and start over, so I did. I went back and tried to radio somebody again. This time, a girl from the team answers, and she sounds frantically concerned. She starts asking where the hell I've been, and said that they've been looking for me the whole day. I'm extremely confused as I left the camp around 9 a.m. in the morning and didn't think I wandered off for more than a couple hours. It turned out I had been gone for more than 7 hours, and everyone was worried I wouldn't come back before it got dark. I know this all sounds insane, but trust me, it's real. I never managed to get it to happen again, and the campsite was closed shortly after without much explanation. Aliens. When shit closes down like that, I'm telling you. I tried to review my notes over and over for a long period of time, but could never find any conclusive results. There's so much more to my story. My professor said the camp was simply closed because the permissions had expired and wasn't worth fighting over, but I never bought it. We never talked much about what happened either. I am also convinced that those stones were not just solid rock. There's something inside, but trying to crack open is unthinkable. They are national symbols. It would never be approved and it could land someone in prison. So even suggesting it is madness. I'm happy to answer questions if you have any. I am an archaeologist, went to investigate some stone spheres and went missing for a few hours. Investigation was closed shortly after. I don't remember the specifics of the incident, but it happened in March in 2007. Regarding the weather, it was hard to tell. It's a rainforest, so it can go from completely sunny to mid-morning or sunny in the morning to torrential rain in the afternoon. But I do remember it was unusually dark month considering it was summer. So mist wasn't uncommon while I was there. Could have been. I don't know what that means. But it was on Reddit if you want to look it up. Yeah, better 7 days or 7 hours than 7 days. Uh, White Wolf, yeah, with the crystal skulls. Um, Sherry, she's the keeper of um, Synergy. Sorry, my bad, I couldn't remember. All my crystal skulls that I have sat with Synergy. I will only buy from her. Hurry back, freaky geek. But Sherry is the keeper of Synergy that came from I forget now. But all my crystal skulls that I own, the ones that like to go on a walkabout, um, are from her and have sat with Synergy. But yeah, that's freaky. Can you imagine? That's because I have a box. Hold on. Let me go ahead and. Oh, not that one. There we go. You can't really see them. I'll show you my biggest one. This is my biggest one. This one right here has the personality. I'll go through them if you'd like. They have the. This one has the personality of, if you've ever seen the movie Practical Magic. They each have their own little personalities, but the ants, how they are with that's how this one's personality. I'm not going to tell you their names because they're given to me in personal. It's a personal, personal thing. Um, But yeah, this one's personality is like the ants from Practical Magic. I have these are my little ones. This one he has a Mayan field. I only have one. Well, I have two females. My big one's a female, and then he's more of a Mayan feel. And then I have my jade. This isn't turquoise. This is howlite. It's just a feeling you get, Freaky Geek. It's hard to explain how crystal skulls work. Yes, I do. I respect them very much so. My quartz, this one I was actually they gifted me this one. This is rose quartz. Can't really see it too well. It looks like, when looking at howlite, it looks like turquoise, but it's not. My hematite. He's a big protector of mine. My other protector is my tiger eye, the one that feels Mayan. I also have a banded jasper that feels Mayan too. My tiger eye, he's my big protector. This is actually Eddie's. This one went on a walkabout to me. I wasn't supposed to give this one or get this one. I didn't buy this one, but it became a walkabout. That's Eddie's. You really can't see. It's quartz crystal. But I was emailing her to say that I got an extra one. She had emailed me back saying, "Did you get an extra one?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "I'm going to get your address to send it back." And she's like, "Nope, it went on a walkabout to you. It was meant to be yours." And then I got my amethyst, which is female. And she's the one that likes to go on the walkabouts a lot. What I mean about walkabouts, in case you don't know, it'll be there 1 second and gone the next, and then return. There's my banded jasper. That's the other Mayan feel. This is my brownstone. This one's really cool. It's got a really cool energy, like a kid brother type energy. This is my crystal, my quartz crystal. Can't really see it. Sorry, guys. And then last but not least is my opalite. Because I am Libra and I'm in, I love anything that looks like opal, but this isn't opal. You can't really tell. But Eddie actually noticed, my husband actually noticed that when I'm out of the room, because you can't tell on here, but down here becomes like an orange. It has that OP feel and look to it. And apparently when I leave the room, it dulls. It doesn't shine as bright. Yeah, I love them. I still want to get more. Oh wow, Scoop. Yeah, see, like I said, I only buy from Sherry, who owns Synergy. Well, doesn't own Synergy. She's the keeper of Synergy, and all my crystal skulls have sat with Synergy. Um, she's awesome. Her and her daughter Jamie are great people, and yeah, I love them. I absolutely. They all have their own little personalities. Um, I think they're one of the reasons why I am so protected with different things. That and my guides, my higher ups, my higher me's, whatever you want to believe, you know. Thank you, White Wolf. Yeah, I love my little collection. I was really nervous when I bought the big one because I didn't know how they were going to react. And they definitely, there are times that they clash. You're very welcome. I absolutely love them. I really do. But yeah, when I bought the big one, I was really nervous because I was like, I just don't know, because there's some that you can tell is the leader. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. And there are some clashes, but they've all. It's cool because it feels like they've all started working together for my benefit, if that makes sense. Am I out of focus? Or is that just me? Probably because I hit it. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Oh, there we go. Power struggles do happen. That's true. So, what do you guys have? You, I mean, like you said, White Wolf, you've seen the rain in the square foot. That would be wicked cool. I don't know how I'd react to something like that. Have you guys ever, or known anybody that's had like a time slip like that? Like, like a long time slip? No, that's just my gray. Freaky geek. That's not a highlight. It's my gray. You know, my gray. Hey, Hannah Jim, how you doing, hon? You have smoking like a long one? See, like I've only had a little bit. Well, it was a couple hours, I guess, but it seemed like 2 minutes. A dimensional slip. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, so what do you guys think? Do you think that we go through this? Like, I don't know if you guys, believe in aliens or whatnot, when we're taken from this world anyway, not maybe not by aliens, by our scientists. I don't know. To like work on us for a different reason and then brought back to our our, our dimension. It's raining here. We had snow earlier. We got a good dumping of snow, and now it's raining. Freaky geek. Or what do you guys think's going on when a time slip happens, when something like that happens? I mean, this poor guy, do you think it has anything to do with those rocks? Right, Freaky Geek? I know, because let me tell you, when it does happen, it messes with you. I get that, White Wolf. Yeah. Right. Do you guys think that's what the awakening is we are observing more? Yeah, I agree with you, White Wolf. Yeah, I definitely believe that it has to go along the lines with the vibration. And I think maybe that's where Mandela effect comes from. I mean, like, I was going through some shit when I had the whole Fruit Loops thing go on. So I'm like wondering if I lowered my vibration for a little bit, then put it back up, if that makes sense. Right, Jim? I wish I could do that. I wish, but my boss lives here too. So, you know, not in my apartment, but in his own apartment or room, whatever you want to call it. Right, Skook. Okay, I see what you're saying there. Right, kind of like it's kind of. I think you get used to it, like how I'm used to like shadow people. I'm used to them, and I'm like, whatever, they're there. Um, kind of like time, like I'm noticing, like if I'm noticing things happen, if my vibration goes down. I'm in that stage right now. Do you know what I mean? Really, Freaky Geek? Was it around that time? Like, because it might happen, I want to say last year. I was downstairs, so I'm thinking last year. Yeah. See, like, my husband thinks we live in timelines that are right next to each other. So we're going like back and forth. It's weird to say that because a few years ago, he never believed in any of this stuff. I don't know, Freaky Geek. That's a good question. I mean, that would be weird. Yeah, it does have that feel, doesn't it, Jim? About uh time has been going a lot faster. Yeah, I've noticed that this year, starting this year, maybe even a little bit of last year, the end of last year, that it seems like it's going like wicked fast. Yeah. Yeah, White Wolf. Right. Yeah, exactly, Jim. Like months don't seem like that long. Exactly. I totally agree. Yeah, it seems like it happens in bunches. Like like you brought up that one time, hearing about it here, then it not being so much hearing about it, then hearing about it over here, later down the line. It does. It does. I mean, my mom always said once you have a kid in school, you watch how fast the time goes. But it does seem like I am still yet to see that movie, The Butterfly Effect. My husband wants me to see it so bad. Um, but the older, she always said once you have a school age kid, your time will fly. And it does. But this seems like different. This doesn't seem like, it just seems very, yeah, faster. All I can say is faster. Yeah, White Wolf. Exactly. It just, I don't know. Things seem different lately, but yet the same. Like, it's almost like it's, things are different and they're different, but it feels normal. Not normal. It feels familiar. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for, if that makes sense. Yeah. I hate deja vu. I hate that feeling. God, do I hate that feeling. But I have a lot of it. Not so much as I used to. I don't know if it's because I feel like I'm really White Wolf. We could have. um, it seems like I had more deja vu in my younger years, but now that I've gotten into researching all this stuff and everything, like I don't have that much deja vu. It's more like, oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Like I know that, and I have no clue if that makes sense. Yeah, see, Freaky Geek. Okay, I'm not the only one. Yeah. Do you know what that means, Freaky Geek? It means you're awakened. I don't know if I like that term. I don't know if I like that term. Really, Jim? Well, I bet you have. Moving back, if you lived there before, yeah, I can understand that. See, we have had this conversation before. Only White Wolf was the one that said that, and not you, smoking. Yeah, definitely, Freaky Geek. Once in a while, the deja vu seems almost profit. Yeah, definitely. I hope I'm not missing anybody. This is so weird. Okay. All right. Really? That's weird, Jim. That is weird. You think you wouldn't have it that much or forget that much. You know what I mean? Unless you wanted to, you know. All right, guys, it's about that time. I'm going to get off of here. I hope you had Okay. I hope you guys had a good time. We'll definitely keep discussing stuff like this, obviously. Make sure you look out for my video about my giveaway, because now I'm at 500, if I haven't lost any. Because, who knows? YouTube might have taken it away. But yeah. Hopefully you guys will come on in tomorrow, and tomorrow we're playing is game day. We have a lot of fun. It has been awesome. I thank you guys so much for being here. Totally, totally. Oh, Ron, I didn't even see you come in, hon. I'm sorry. Hi, Ron. I'm so sorry if I missed you. I feel bad. I like to include everybody. Michael, thanks for coming in. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Like I said, come back tomorrow. I'm not sure if we're going to do Jackbox games or if we are going to do is quiz time, because we had a lot of fun doing that too. It's going to be up to you guys what you want to do. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And yeah, definitely come back and check us out. And I'll see you guys again, okay? Thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, look out for my video about my giveaway. It'll be coming up shortly. And tomorrow's game day, then Odd News Friday, Freaky News Friday. All right, Freaky Geek. I gotcha. Have a great day, all. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you guys so much. Love you all. Much love. And I'll talk to you soon.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.